So yeah, either way, I think this game's it's probably better being here actually, because it's those bigger stadiums that you want to play in.
Well, hi Rehanne. What are your thoughts on the game?
I thought that we worked really hard throughout the course of the game. I think the collective squad obviously had a good impact on the game. Players that came on, I think they did really well. It's been a game of fine margins. I think today actually a couple of little moments that we could have avoided. The first goal's a foul. But beyond that, the next couple we definitely have switched off. Just a little moment, but that's the fine margins really. And we've had 3 fantastic chances really that we've not capitalised on, and that's what you get in the league, in terms of the outcome. So overall, I think structurally we caused them problems. I want us to be a little bit better in how we move and operate in the build, because I think we could have found some more solutions to play out a little bit more comfortably. But other than that, I think there's a lot of positives to take from the performances of the team. And when we're in a position where everybody's available for the 90, managing Christy Mewis, managing Dagny, Minnie's obviously off the back of a viral infection, and we've got when our subs are coming on, they're only on limited minutes, some of those at the moment, the new signing. So once we get everybody in the same position with that, I think you can see what they're capable of. They'll massively add value to the squad and make the squad even more competitive.
That first goals in games are very important. What sort of things have you had back from the officials to kind of explain that one, why that wasn't given in your favour?
I haven't spoken to them about that. The one that we spoke about was when they made our sub wait for 30 seconds before going back on the pitch, but that's not a rule that's involved in the WSL.
And more broadly, I suppose, for the supporters, you may be thinking, it's a disappointing start. Like, what's your message to them? It's not an easy place to come here. I know disgrace losing here, but they might look at it and see 3-0, that's a bit worrying.
No, I don't think it's worrying. I think if you actually look at the game itself, you can see how competitive we were throughout the course of the game. So obviously, that's the difference, isn't it? Obviously, if you're just looking at the scoreline. But I think where we are, like I said, when everybody's available for the whole duration of games, that then puts us with more depth in the squad. And for me, more difficult decisions to make, but that's a positive. And I think we'll be in a better position moving forward. We've shown in pre-season some really good performances as well. And so I think we're just got to keep building on that. And we're probably, we've got a couple of weeks where we want to try and make sure we get everybody to that point, and then we'll be in a much better position.
Anyone else?
Emma Harry's obviously had to come off with that head injury. Do you have any sort of update on how she's doing? Is it serious or is she looking okay?
That was a sub that was happening anyway. It was just coincidental on the timing. So, yeah, there's no concussion there.
Hiya. What does success look like for you when you look back or look forward to the last game of the season? As in, this is the last game.
I get you. End of the year, yeah. For me, obviously, we've spoken internally. Last year was about getting some things in place that helped the players to perform at the highest level, and we needed to adjust that. And this year is about ensuring that we build on what we did last year to be able to have more successful performances. We need to be finishing higher than where we did last year. We have to be more competitive with the teams around us, and I think we played really, really well last year on some of the games where it was the Chelsea's, Arsenal's, Man United, etc. But we actually need to make sure that we do this job and we compete as hard as what we did out there today against all those teams around us that puts the gap bigger and helps us to progress higher up the table. We also need to get some stability within this squad and get everybody bedded in and settled in. That's come Christmas. Obviously that's the biggest target in these next couple of months, because we've got so many new players. And actually, when you think about Minnie, Christy and Dagny, they didn't play a big part in last year. Minnie was the most in 7 games. So they're almost like having 3 new players in the squad as well. So we do need a little bit of time to settle in, and we've been trying to do that. But clearly, we didn't get Rico and Minnie back, for example, until Perth. So Minnie's only played a couple of games with the team in pre-season. So when you get everybody back together and you get everybody functioning on the same page, we'll be in a good position. And that's what we need to grow on. And that's what we need to look back on and reflect on in the last game of the season, how quickly we were able to do that, how quickly we were able to convert that into points, and ensuring that we finish higher than what we did last year.
As a visiting team, would you prefer to play at Old Trafford or Lee Sports Village? I'm thinking there's only one stand open today. the Sports Village, they create quite a hostile environment. Is it quite comfortable for a visiting team to come to a empty, 12,000 out of 70,000 is quite an empty stadium?
I just think players want to play in these types of stadiums. This is what we need to be striving towards across the game. So, for me, for the players, we wanted to play here. You know, these are games that we don't necessarily think about the fans, as in the opposing fans in those scenarios. We're wanting to showcase what we're about in those bigger stadiums and utilise that to have a showcase for the game itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, either way, I think this game's probably better being here actually, because it's those bigger stadiums that you want to play in.
Is it a showcase though if it's with the goals and the stands are empty?
It's still 12,000 people, which not everybody's getting at their games. So I think in context, I think we all have to be mindful of what that looks like. All clubs can do more to grow the fan base, to grow the people in the stadiums. But yeah, I still think it's more than what most games are doing every week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sandra?
Hi, Rehanne.
Hi.
Just following on from some of what you said there to Charlotte. I mean, season opening weekend, this is games here at Old Trafford, yet great that it's both shown on Fan Channel and the fans' club website and YouTube, but not on TV. Would you have liked to have had a game like this getting the TV coverage it deserves, particularly, for example, if you're a fan that's completely new to WSL, not necessarily familiar with where to go?
Yeah, I think it makes it easier, doesn't it? Because it's more accessible. I think if you're not necessarily, really clear on where to go to watch the games or subscribe to whatever those channels are where it's being streamed and whatnot, I think it's easier when it's on TV for everybody, and it kind of draws more attention to it because just visibility is better. So the more that the games are on TV, the better. But we all know that, right? We've been talking about the broadcast deals. We've been talking about how the NewCo or Women's Professional League is going to evolve that. And obviously over the course of this year, that's the big challenge, is them ensuring that we do have that broadcast deal so that we do get more games like this in covered on normal TV.